A very happy morning, afternoon, and evening to all the participants and the viewers from all across the world. So we today have a very special guest. Let us all welcome Parinita Patri madam. So welcome, madam. A very happy morning. What a wonderful way to start the day with you. So Parinita ji is a teacher, founder of Swag, Save Water and Go Green. That's a word or the coining given by our great master Brahmarshi Patriji, and she is like an ambassador. She is the ambassador of the Swag movement worldwide through the PSSM movement, and she's a co-founder of Swadhyaya Yoga and Animal and Nature Lover, which she truly is, and both in spirit and letter. That much I can tell you. Wonderful master. So it's really a great inspiration to thousands of masters across the world. Thank you for joining us on the My Time, and over to you, Parinitaji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, my dear friends, for joining in today. And I'd like to bring in front of you a wonderful topic called as clear thinking. Okay, so this is clear thinking, my dear friends, and this is being accepted from Education as Transformation Volume 2 by written by Tortum Seredarian, sir. So he is a great author, he's a great master who has given us lots of wisdom, and that's the reason why I wanted to share this with you, because thinking is where we first go. That is our first, what do you say? That's the first place. Mind is the first place that we go to for any solution or anything that we want to do. So if we have a clear mind, we will have clear thinking. So how does clear thinking help us, and how we can achieve clear thinking is the purpose of this session. So I hope everyone will benefit into this session. So without any delay, then let us start. So clear thinking is, what is clear thinking is what is most important, because the success or maybe any kind of achievement is achieved through clear thinking. We can only be successful only when we can have a clear mind, a clear thought process, a clear thing, without any confusion, without any chaos, and without, if we do not have clear thinking, we will keep wasting our time. We will keep wasting our time by wasting our energies, wasting our resources, by not putting in our energy into the right things. So I'd like to ask everyone if you could switch on your video so that I can, feel like I'm talking to you and while doing this. So even if we inherit the possessions or anything like that, so without clear thinking, anything that we do is a waste, because our problems don't get solved. Our solutions, we won't be getting any solutions because we do not have any clear thinking. So that is why clear thinking is very, very, very important, my dear friends. If we really want success, then we need to cultivate clear thinking. Clarity of thought is what is most important. And this will not only be helpful to your material development, but also spiritual progress. It is definitely very, very important, because unless and until you have clarity of thought, you cannot be able to make decisions. And this is like, clear thinking is like clear water. See, no murky water is there in your mind. So when there's no murky water in your mind, everything is clear. There's no contamination, there's no mud, there's no agitation, there's no chaos, there's no confusion in that. It's like clean air, it's like clean water. So that you can have beautiful vision. See, if you just imagine an ocean or a river where you could see the bed of the ocean or the bed of the river, it's so beautiful, isn't it? You know where you're going, you know what's underneath you. Only if you have a clear mirror, you will be able to see yourself exactly as you are. That is what is clear thinking. So thinking is an act of using your mind to solve your problems, to find new and better ways to carry out your spiritual perfection. and to make yourself happy, healthy, intelligent, creative, and noble. It basically has thinking basically has two factors: the ability to solve problems and the ability to find new ways for spiritual perfection. Isn't it, my dear friends? So that is the reason why we need clear thinking more and more and more necessary. It has become necessary for us in our current life scenario because we lose a lot when we don't think clearly, my dear friends. So this is how we keep our mind in balance. And now thinking passes through many states due to the various states of the mind, my dear friends. We pass through various states. And there are 12 states of mind, my dear friends. There are 12 states of mind which our mind passes through during our life. And let us learn what are those 12 states of mind and kind of understand yourself as to which state of mind is your mind in. This is about self-contemplation, self-assessment, self-analysis. No self-judgment, but self-analysis. The first state of mind is the undeveloped state of mind, my dear friends. Everything rests on clear thinking. And if we do not have clear thinking, we cannot become successful. We will contradict ourselves. We create inner conflicts and confusion and involve ourselves in time-wasting problems, time-wasting activities. And even if we acquire anything, everything is a waste. So undeveloped mind is something where there is no connection between the brain and the mind. The connection has not yet been created between the brain and the mind, my dear friends. That is what is undeveloped state of mind. When we do not have the connection between the brain and the mind itself, how can we get even a thought, even a pure thought? The first stage is the undeveloped state of mind, my dear friends, where there's no link between our physical brain and the mind. Then we come to our second state of mind, which is called as the lazy mind. And in this state, the brain is developed, but it is lazy. Do you ever relate to the picture that is there on the screen? You feel too lazy to think. You feel too lazy to, who will think about all those things? I don't have the energy to think about it. Do you ever feel like that? I'm sure you must have gone through such phases in your life where you don't have the energy to think, which is called as a mental energy. Just like physical energy, emotional energy, we have the mental energy, my dear friends. We keep thinking so much that at one point we break it. That, you know what, I give up. I don't want to think anymore. I don't have the energy to think anymore. And there's no energy in it, but only inertia and apathy. So that is what is a lazy mind. And Patriji says, I would like to add over here is that he says no to garlic because that creates mental inertia. So that is the scientific reason that Patriji says that we should not have any garlic. One reason is that it belongs to the non-vegetarian family. Another reason, scientific reason, is that it creates mental energy. You can experiment on yourself. You don't have to believe everything that I say. You can experiment on yourself. The moment the day you eat garlic, just observe yourself the next morning. See how your mind functions. That is the way you understand, oh, this is what it is. Try to experiment on yourself. Eat garlic one day and find yourself how your state of mind is in the next morning. There's mental inertia, there's mental depression. That is what the studies have found out. And this state of mind can be naturally or artificially produced. And our mind can be lazy because of drugs, marijuana, work, alcohol, or tobacco. Excessive pleasure, Anything excessive will make your mind lazy, my dear friends. If you have all the luxuries in your world at your feet, what is it that you want to think about now? If you're so full of your habits and yourself, what is it that you have to think about now? There's nothing. You just want to enjoy the pleasures that you are getting right now. And that is where your mind and becomes lazy and you become mentally lazy. Find yourself in such situations and see if your mind has been lazy and what are the causes of your mind becoming lazy. Then we have the third kind, which is damaged brain or damaged mind. And as our brain can be damaged by accidents, hallucinogenic drugs, or excessive sex, or also can the mental body be damaged by various kinds of psychological pressures, psychic attacks, hypnotism, etc. All these damage the brain and damage the mind, my dear friends. Please be careful of not getting involved in such activities. And it can also be damaged by electric currents, radiations, or poisons. So you might have found at the studies that your mobile phone carries so much of radiation that it affects the brain. That is the reason everyone asks you to use the phone which has very, very minimal radiation. So I'd like to urge everyone to find out which phone has the minimum radiation and buy that phone, not because it is fancy or it has a 5G or whatever. Please take care of your brain. Please take care of your mind because that is most precious to be able to make decisions, to have clarity in life. Don't take your brain or mind for granted. Take care of yourself. So even the psychological pressures, what kind of psychological pressures are you going through that can damage your brain or mind? This is the third level where our state of mind passes through, my dear friends. Please try to observe yourself. Try to find out what is happening with you, what is happening inside you, so that you find the cause and solve the problem. Let us not become mechanical, that something is happening inside and I don't know and I'm functioning. And I don't want to know. Because everything is happening automatically. No, nothing is happening automatically unless you are a machine. We all strive to become conscious beings, isn't it? Then we come to the fourth state of mind, which is called the confused mind. Do we ever get confused? Where to go, what to do, whom to meet, how to do, when to do, where to do. So this is confused mind, my dear friends, and this is the state in which your mind has no goal. We might be thinking, but what is the purpose of that thinking? We do not have purpose for that thinking. We just think, that's all. And there's no direction, no goal whatsoever. And when you're confused, my dear friends, nothing appears exactly as it is. It appears exactly as your mind is. Patriji says, Jaisi Drushti Vaisi Srishti. So however your mind is, you will see it in that way. So your slavery, mental slavery is going to project onto your external world. And you will see only what you want to see, not exactly as it is. And our chaotic thought forms obscure our vision. Jaisi Drishti, Vaisi Srishti, my dear friends. As they say, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. No matter how beautiful a flower is, if there's ugliness in my mind, if there's confusion in my mind, I won't see that flower is beautiful. And we do not have, when we have confused mind, We do not have certainty. We do not have a center of control. We do not have principles or standards. Everything is obscured. Everything is scattered. Everything is just not there. There's no goal. I would like to ask each and every one of you, find out the purpose of your thinking. Yes, you're thinking, but why are you thinking? What are you thinking for? Everyone has a brain, everyone has a mind, everyone has the capacity to think. But what is the goal of your thinking? Is there a purpose for your thoughts? Or are we just wasting our mental energy on unnecessary aspects? Let us not be confused and let us get clarity of thinking, so that we can see everything exactly as it is. So that's the fourth state of mind, my dear friends. And let's come to the fifth state of mind, which is the conflicting mind. Everything is conflicting. There's a war within ourselves, among ourselves, in ourselves. That is when, somebody calls somebody split personality. In us only, everything is split. We are divided in ourselves. And what we see division externally as well. Everything is separatistic. We see everything in a separatistic way because there is separation within ourselves. We fight against ourselves. And a person who is a conflicting mind, one moment he decides something, he does exactly the opposite the other way. I promise something right now and I forget to fulfill my promise. I believe something today and then tomorrow I'll straight away bluntly deny it. There is no stability in thinking. There's no clarity in thinking. Everything is conflicting. Because, we tend to hear so many voices in our mind. One voice says this, one voice says that. Sometimes we hear to this voice, sometimes we listen to that voice. Sometimes we listen to another voice. We don't know how many voices are there in our head. Forget about which voice to listen to. We don't know how many voices are there in our head. How preconditioned, how pre-programmed is our mind with post-hypnotic suggestions, with conditioning, with programming. With so many factors influencing our thinking, our past, our present, our future, our pain, our happiness, our pleasure. And that is a mind which assembles and immediately disassembles. No, this is not going to work out. Yes, that is going to work. No, I don't think that is also going to work out. So the personality is split, or the personality and soul are fighting against each other. We need to master our personality, my dear friends. When we do meditation, that is when we start mastering our personality. And in this stage, it is being said that the awakening soul is trying to bring the personality in line and is creating conflict on the mental field. This is where the tension begins. Spiritual tension, as they say. The physical tension is different and the spiritual tension is different, my dear friends. Only when we have spiritual tension, that is when we start growing. There has to be tension in the spiritual body. Then we have the sixth state of mind, which is the slave mind. How many of us are in this state of mind? That we are a puppet of our mind. We have not yet mastered our mind. We are a slave to our mind. And when does this happen? When do we enter into the slavery of the mind? When we are controlled with the blind urges and drives of the physical body, by the glamours and desires of the emotional body, and by the illusions, vanity, separatism, and ego of the mental body. This is very, very important to understand, my dear friends. When Patriji says, be a master, what does he mean? He wants us to master ourselves. He wants us to master our three bodies. the physical body, the emotional body, and mental body. Only when we master our three bodies, we will no longer be the slave of these three bodies, and that is when we will truly and rightfully walk the path of the soul. Is our mind, our emotional body, serving the lower purposes? The lower mind, the lower emotional body, the lower body? What is the purpose of your three bodies, the physical body, the emotional body, mental body? What is the purpose of your body? What purpose are these bodies serving, my dear friends? This is something for you to think about. What is the purpose of your three bodies? Define your purpose. Yes, there is a purpose of life. To achieve that purpose of life, you need to understand and you need to align the purpose of these three bodies. How are these three bodies going to align so that I can achieve my purpose of life? Let us try to understand that, my dear friends. Align these three bodies so that you can achieve your purpose of life. Don't become the slave, become the master. And how does the slave mind work? Where the mind says, you know what, I want drugs, I want alcohol. The slave mind says, aye, sir, your wish is my command. Just like the Aladdin and the genie. Aladdin is the mind and genie is you. You are going to fulfill every demand, every wish the mind asks, the emotional body asks, the physical body asks. That is when you become the slave. Those are the blind urges, glamours and desires, the illusions and the vanities, and the separatism and the ego that we listen to. That is when we start slowly becoming the slave and not the master. And then we come to the seventh state of mind. Sorry, then we still have a lot to understand in the sixth, slave mind. And when your mind is a slave, even its knowledge does not help you reject the impositions of the lower bodies. And this is why we say that it is not knowledge that helps your spiritual progress, but your transformation and beingness. We do so much of meditation, but as much as meditation is important, it is more important what do we do after opening our eyes after meditation? How do we lead our practical life? Your meditation should help you discipline your personality and gain control of your lower bodies. And that is when you can experience true freedom. Freedom from your physical slavery, emotional slavery, and mental slavery. And again, after gaining freedom, your lower vehicles serve your spiritual goals. Only a free mind can develop control over itself, my dear friends. So is your mind free? Is it truly free? Understand yourself. Understand your mind. Understand your emotional body. Where am I going? What am I doing? Then we have the seventh body, which is called the seventh state of mind, which is called as a preconditioned or prejudiced mind. Do we have this body? I'm sure we have. Do we have this mind? Yes, do we? Yes, we do have on occasions. Some minds are under the influence of post-hypnotic suggestions. And what are these post-hypnotic suggestions? For example, if in my childhood, my mother says that when it is raining outside, I go and get drenched in the rain. And my mother shouts from there, saying that, Pari, don't get drenched in the rain. You will get cold, you will catch cold, you will catch fever. And I get cold, I catch fever, I catch cold. And then what happens is that it becomes a post-hypnotic suggestion in my mind, saying that whenever I get drenched in the rain, I will catch cold. And what do? I will tell the same thing to my children because it has become a programming in my mind in my childhood. And in such way, there are so many post-hypnotic suggestions, so many pre-programmings, so many preconditioned minds that we go through. Do we have such preconditioned mind, my dear friends? And a prejudiced mind is a mind that cannot open, unfold, and expand. Just imagine you're just sitting in this room watching this program, right? You're sitting inside a room which has four walls. A prejudiced mind is like sitting inside a room which has four walls, my dear friends. I don't want to go beyond and see what is beyond these four walls. I don't want to open the door. I don't want to see what's beyond this. I am happy where I am, and I know that only this is the truth and nothing but the truth. I don't want to go beyond that. I don't want to open the door or the window to see, oh, what is there outside this window. I don't want to open the door and let anyone in or let myself go out. Because this has become my comfort zone. Your preconditioned mind, your prejudiced mind has become your comfort zone, and you don't want to disturb it. I believe what I believe, that's it. I don't want to create new beliefs. I don't want to challenge my beliefs. I don't want to create new opinions. I don't want to learn anything. I don't want to make new mistakes. I don't want to have new experiences. And this causes the mind not to see important and essential facts of life, to lose opportunities for cooperation and expansion, my friends. Are we like this? So it is interesting to know that the human mind can be preconditioned in the fields of politics, education, philosophy, arts, science, religion, and economics. You can become really, really, really rigid in these kind of areas. Very rigid. You're not like water, you're rigid. And preconditioned minds are always hindrances in their own field because they do not let their particular field expand and grow. It can also apply to spirituality, my dear friends. And anytime a mind is prejudiced or preconditioned, it becomes a dangerous mind and stands against human welfare. If I have a prejudiced mind, if I start teaching people, what do I teach them? I teach them only prejudices. I teach them only about my preconditioned mind. That's it. I can't go beyond what I already know, isn't it? Only when you expand yourself, you can teach a lot to people. You need to unfold, you need to expand. Then we have the fanatical mind, my dear friends. What are you a fan of? And they humorously say, what are you the fan or the air conditioner of? So this is a state of mind which continues for many years, my dear friends. And this is a very, very difficult stage to get out of. Sometimes it takes years, sometimes it takes lifetimes. And when does this break? Only when you get a shock of disappointment. For example, you believe in something so deeply that you get shaken with some disappointment. You believe in something and that doesn't happen. That will create a disappointment in your life. And that is when your wall starts cracking. And when that wall cracks, that is when the real light comes into your life. And what is a fanatic? Fanatic is a person who says that this is the only way, this is the only path, this is what it is, this is the truth, this is the full stop. There's no more, no less. That's the fanatic. A fanatical mind is a person who doesn't upgrade, who doesn't update, who doesn't go according to the flow. And if the mind of the fanatic person is opened, they go to extremes and they start denying everything that they used to believe in. Either they're always on extremes, and when they can be put in the middle path, when they find the right guru like Patri. Either you be a complete blind believer or you are completely against what you have believed. So when you come to the middle path, that is when you actually get rid of your fanatical mind. And that is slowly the guru will get him out of his shell mind. And then we come to the striving mind, my dear friends. After the fanatical mind, after the shell is broken, what happens? That mind tries to strive, starts striving towards a better mind, better state of mind. The striving mind, my dear friends. And the striving mind tries to find new ways to solve his own problems and expand his horizons. How many times have you tried solving the same situation, same problem with the same solution? Did we ever try to change the solution? Did we ever try to change the thinking? Did we ever try to change the methodology or the process of solving problems? Have we done that? Oh, maybe this is not working. Let me try that. No, no, no. I have done this 1,000 times. This is the only way it is working. Do we ever say that to ourselves? You know what? In the past, this solution has not worked. So it will not work now also. In the past, this solution has worked. So it will work now also. We are preconditioned. So that is when we start not expanding. See every situation as a wonder, as a new moment where you can experiment yourself with. And we try to make our existence beautiful, intelligent, healthy, prosperous, and creative. When we have a striving mind. Is a mind striving, my dear friends? And a striving mind is an awakening mind. It slowly, slowly, slowly is trying to awaken itself. And we slowly try to eliminate what's in the past on the path of perfection. We let go of the past. And it's very difficult to let go of the past. I'm not saying that it is very easy. It is very difficult to let go of the past. And we have no choice, we have no option, but that is what we must do. Just because it is difficult, we stop doing it because it is difficult. I give up. Your habits are driving you. Have you ever observed that you give into your habits? Your habits are running you. That is when this awakening mind is where you surpass your habits, you surpass your past. You surpass everything and you strive to climb that mountain of spirituality. You strive to climb the mountain of your beautiful mind and go up to the apex. And that is when you really hear the calling. You slowly start developing the ear, the inner ear, where you hear the calling of the higher world. And that is when the visions can be seen. That is when you will break the routine. Patriji says, break the routine. Why do you think he says break the routine? You're habituated to do something in a certain way. You're habituated to think in a certain way. You're habituated to talk in a certain way. Break the routine, mama. That is what he says. And what are the signs of striving? If you have these signs, these 5 signs, then you have a striving mind. Otherwise, you do not. As simple as that. There's no gray area in this, either this is black or white. What are the signs of striving? This is the first signs. I'm not saying that these are the only signs. These are the first signs, as Dr. Saradarian has said. The person begins to search and ask, and he tries to discover the causes of his limitations. Do you want to find the causes of your limitations, or are you happy with your limitations? Do you want to begin to search and ask, what is there further of your limitations? What is there beyond your room in the 4 walls? What is out the window? What is beyond the door that you have closed onto yourself? Do you wonder? Do you want to know? Do you want to expand? Or you are happy with your room? And then he searches for wisdom. He searches for wisdom in gurus, in books, in experiences. He searches for wisdom in everything. Everything can be your teacher. A person can be your teacher. A tree can be your teacher. Water can be your teacher. Air can be your teacher. Your breath can be your teacher. And he tries to discipline his nature. That's the third point. We try to discipline our nature, inner nature and outer nature, both. And we try to cultivate virtues such as compassion, empathy, love, service, sacrifice, generosity, gratitude. These are called virtues, my dear friends. And then he tries to come in contact with the centers of the light. Slowly, 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 he tries to strive, come into the striving path. And then we have the 10th state of mind, which is the clear mind. Finally, we have arrived at the clear mind, my dear friends. And after striving mind comes clarity. But this is a gradual process and it takes sometimes a long time, years or lives to achieve clarity of mind. But once it is achieved, you are almost one with the mind which is in the Christ. When I say Christ, it is the higher self. And the clear mind sees things exactly as they are. Now we have clarity to see what things are as they appear to be. We don't see things as they appear to be. We see things exactly as they are. And do you want to see things exactly as they are? That is the question. And a clear mind has direction, a clear goal, and a clear plan to reach that goal. That is a clear mind, my dear friends. Then we have the 11th one, the creative mind. After our mind achieves a state of clarity, it becomes a creative force in the universe. We create so many things. We create books, we create pyramids, we create wonderful things that we can create because now we have clarity, now we have a purpose, now we have a goal, and we can channel our energies into the right direction. And we create all the forms that make people healthier, more beautiful, more successful, more righteous, and freer than before. Are we doing this, my dear friends? Are we doing this? And the real artist does not entertain you and please your animal instincts by presenting violence and crimes, but through his art, he evokes the divine and creative force from you and challenges you to transcend your level of beingness. Are you challenging the divinity in others? That's the question. And the final state of mind is the enlightened mind, the Buddha. And the enlightened mind is a mind that cooperates with the creative forces in nature. For example, we have all the creative minds there. And what does the enlightened mind do? He joins all the creative minds together and makes them uplift to become the enlightened mind. He joins with all the creative forces. The enlightened mind has a deep purpose and a deep sense of plan of the one who created all that exists. Just like we have our own personal will, there is a divine will, and we will all work according to the divine will. There is only one purpose when we come to the enlightened mind. Till then, we have separate purposes, separate agendas. And a person who has an enlightened mind can clearly see himself as he is and what is going to be. Can we see ourselves as we exactly are? Do we have the courage to see ourselves exactly as we are? Do we know where we are going to see ourselves in the future? How we are going to see ourselves in the future? So, my dear friends, we have understood the states of thinking, and now let's understand how is clear thinking achieved. There are 16 points over here, which we all need to understand. So, how is clear thinking achieved? First point is that try to think from cause to effect and from effect to cause. Say to your mind, if you think this way, what may happen to me, to my family, to my nation, to humanity, and to nature? Try to become cause-oriented, my dear friends, rather than result-oriented. Understand and learn from your causes, understand and learn from your effects. Because if we do not correlate the cause and effect in our life, we cannot make clear decisions. What kind of an impact do you want to make with your thinking, with your purpose, with your plan? What kind of impact do you want to make in your life, in your family, to yourself, to humanity? Everyone wants to do Loka Kalyan, but what is the cause that can bring Loka Kalyan to everyone? Become the cause, my dear friends. Don't become the result. Become the cause. And if the effect is not constructive or beneficial, think how you can eliminate to stop the cause. Isn't it that simple? You think it is difficult? It is not at all difficult. You just have to work on yourself. Cause and effect are very, very important things to take in consideration, my dear friends. Very, very important. If you want to have a beautiful future, you need to understand the cause and effect process, at least from now on. Then we have the second thing is that try to think in the interest of the greater whole, your family, nation, humanity, nature, and use your thinking power to bring good changes and new visions for these units. What is the purpose of your thinking? The same question arises. What are you thinking for? What are you thinking of? What are the parameters of your thinking? We may have this, egoistic feeling that, what, I am right. But are we right? Did we check from the viewpoint of the family, the group, the nation, and the nature? Are you right still? And if you have been proved wrong, are you willing to change your mind, change your thoughts, change your perspectives? Are you flexible? And in relating to your thinking to these greater wholes, you see the exact value of your thoughts. A great master said, my dear friends, energy follows thought. So where is your energy following? Wherever your thought is going, the energy is following, my dear friends. So the meditation that you're doing, the cosmic energy that you're getting, your thought is being followed by your energy. An old man used to say, when you're pulling a nail from a wall, do not worry too much about the nail. Think about the wall and all that is related to it. And without clear thinking, you can say a few words or do something, but the consequences become so big that you can no longer handle them. This is worth giving some consideration, my dear friends. So that is what what we need to think about. When we become small-minded, narrow-minded, we will think about only the wall. When we have a bigger mind, bigger picture in our view, then we will think about the wall and not the nail. It's such a beautiful concept. Then try to think not only for your physical body, but also for your emotions, mind, and soul. Whatever you do, whatever think from all these three aspects. Everything. And you do things that make your physical body happy, but emotionally or mentally you feel painful, or you feel spiritually ashamed and humiliated. Think of yourself as a whole being and work for your whole being, not just for separatistic bodies. Oh, I want to become a slave of mind, which damages the emotional and mental body. Don't do that. Think holistically. Think of yourself as a community and work for the community. And your actions must make your complete being happy and healthy, because you are a unit and your thinking must not be partial. And you do things physically that hurt your mind, or mentally that hurt your emotions, or emotionally that hurt your body, mind, and even your soul. And if you guide your thoughts or thinking along the lines of thinking for all the bodies, gradually you will cultivate clear thinking and see how wonderful it is to live in the light of clear thinking. Are you damaging yourself in order to cultivate another part of yourself? And clear thinking has no partiality whatsoever and does not create cleavages in your whole being. It doesn't work against itself. It works for yourself. And the fourth point is, try to think not only for your present interests, but also for your future interests. Don't think short term, think long term. Think not only for this incarnation, but for many incarnations to come, many generations to come, to the future of the earth, to the future of humanity, to the future of animal kingdom. Think big. For your future lives also, my dear friends. How do you want this earth to be when you are born again in the next incarnation? Why can't we get that thought, let that thought in your mind? Is it only in this incarnation that you are interested in, not in your future lives? And for a few days, you enjoy the things you do, but what about the coming years? How will your actions affect your whole life or even your future lives? And future lives are as real as your future weeks, future months, or future years. Be considerate, my dear friends. Consideration is a very, 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 very important factor. You must consider how to be healthy, happy, and creative in future years and lives, isn't it? Plan accordingly, think accordingly. Have a big picture in your mind, big purpose, big goal, big direction, clear direction, a striving mind. Then never think within the boundaries of your habits, prejudices, superstitions, vanity, and ego. And if we are controlled by all these things, how can we think clearly? If we are run by our ego, we can never achieve clear thinking, because our mind is foggy. Our mind is full of ego and we cannot think from the veil of our ego, isn't it? When we think on the veil of our ego, we want everyone to serve our purpose. We want everyone to serve what I want. You want to see everyone working for you instead of working for themselves, working for the humanity. We try to make ourselves so important for others that everyone has to see the importance of you. That is ego. And if your thinking is run by prejudices, superstitions, and vanity, clear thinking will be an unachievable dream for you, and you will always be a slave to your habits, prejudices, superstitions, vanity, and ego. And this is how we lose ourselves. We lose our soul, my dear friends. And most of the time, it is not who use our minds, but our post-hypnotic suggestions, invisible entities, forces, and even certain energy currents which are broadcast into the space. See, you have a car and your driver is missing. Anybody can sit in your driver's seat. And you will allow anybody to sit in your driver's seat. It can be a dark force, it can be a light force, it depends on you, isn't it? So what kind of a thing is driving you? And our minds can be controlled by the thoughts of others and by thoughts of various entities. Our minds can be used against our own welfare if our thoughts are not clean and clear. And pollution in thinking gives outer forces the opportunity to occupy our mental mechanism. I'm sure nobody wants to let that happen. Nobody wants that to happen to them. Nobody. But are we? Are we letting it happen? And this is very easy to understand. If any of your organs is not healthy, you no longer control it, but the germs control it. And it is the same thing for a mind that loses its health through wrong, unclear thinking. So it's all in your hands. It's all in your hands, my dear. Do you want entities to run you, or do you want to have the light forces run you? And in most cases, it is not you who you think outside factors. If you can, for a moment, achieve a state of consciousness in which you can think independently, you will find the door leading you to a superhuman state. And he has given an example. One day, a psychologist asked me if a mind could exist without all of these impediments, and the answer is yes. All greatness is a result of emancipation from these impediments. And we can slowly find our freedom by thinking by doing meditation. That is why meditation is a very, very, very important factor of our life. Meditation is a discipline and an exercise to learn clear thinking. And it is interesting to notice that it is easier to control the minds of others through developing habits, prejudices, vanity, and ego in them, and making them follow a planned action that it is a force of special actions on them. And finally, meditation will not only free you from the thieves living with your own nature, but also from those who are trying to enslave you. Practice discrimination, my dear friends. Please practice discrimination. And then we have the sixth one, which says, do not let your thinking be controlled by fear, hatred, jealousy, anger, revenge, greed, and hurt feelings. This is the emotional body. Don't let your thinking be controlled with your unnecessary emotions. And if you cannot think free of these factors, your thinking will be controlled by them and will involve yourself with more and more problems and waste your time, money, and energy and health. Don't let your thinking be controlled by unnecessary emotions of the emotional body. If you think you have all these things, please work on yourself so that your mind is not controlled by them. And this is why the world has so many problems in spite of so much knowledge and luxury. And people feel happy when they think inspired by their habits, fears, jealousies, anger, revenge, greed, and hurt feelings. But they don't realize that they are like airline passengers who are eating, drinking, and enjoying themselves when the plane is just about to crash. And some people think that hatred, fear, jealousy, anger, revenge, and greed and hurt feelings are stimulants to our thinking. It is true, they stimulate our thinking, but they lead us to the wrong direction. And what can a mind do if they are being led to the wrong direction? Then before you think, for a moment, visualize a joyful or a pleasant experience. Always remember of a wonderful moment that you have experienced in the past. And joy is a form of light, and it puts your mind in a condition where you think more clearly. Joy enlightens the process of your thinking. And one is in an unhappy frame of mind. His thoughts run in reverse gears and he sees only the failure factors instead of seeing the factors which will lead him to success. A happy mind is a grateful, harmless, controlled, and creative mind. And before you think and make decisions, first feel happy. Is it so difficult to feel happy? I'm sure it's not. Then do not let your racial, national, traditional, religious background interfere with your clear and righteous thinking. Don't be rigid in your thinking. And clear thinking can be carried on only at a certain psychologically high altitude. And you must free and raise your consciousness above many limitations if you want to think clearly. And what is that way? Meditation. Only when you are in meditation, you will feel that oneness of everything that you are exists. You're existing with oneness with your universe. Only when you feel that oneness in meditation, can you be able to really experience that oneness when you come outside of the meditation. Then you know what kind of walls you have built around yourself. And now you know that you have to break those limitations now. And that is when your clear thinking is achieved. And then never try to deceive yourself or others with your thoughts. If your mind runs in the gates of self-deception, you will never be able to think clearly. Do you think you manipulate others? Do you think you cheat others? Do you think you lie to others? Do you think you deceive yourself and others? Self-deception creates those hindrances which makes your thinking contradictory to your own highest good. Self-deception is like covering your inner light with layers and layers of blankets and leading yourself into darkness. And one day, my dear friends, you have to take off all these blankets and come from darkness to light. So why put on the blankets in the first case and then strive to remove those blankets? Let us not keep any blankets on ourselves, isn't it? Let us come out of our self-deception. Where are we going when we deceive ourselves? We are not going anywhere. We think we are achieving greatness. We think we are very smart by deceiving myself and others. Do we really think it's a smart decision to deceive yourself and others? Temporarily, maybe it is. And then never try to falsify or fabricate facts. Facts are facts. No matter what you are, you cannot change the facts. But people ask, how can you succeed without falsifying and fabricating? That is not how it works in the real world, isn't it? You have to manipulate, you have to tweak things, you have to twitch things to make everything work. Is it possible to save your skin in this world without fabricating and falsifying facts? We are taught that it is impossible to be successful with honesty. Can we bring success by all these things? Yes, we can bring success by doing all these things, but not future success. We cannot guarantee future success. Can you catch yourself in a moment in which you are just beginning to falsify and fabricate things? Can you do that? Whenever you find yourself fabricating or falsifying facts, catch yourself. If you can find such a moment in your life, you have already initiated yourself into the path of health, happiness, and success. And if you continue to increase such moments in your life, you will soon enter into the superhuman path. Do you want to make the journey from human to superhuman? This is the way we do it. Then never decide to take actions or make decisions under the pressure of flattery, bribery, and showing off. Don't flatter yourself, don't flatter others. Don't bribe yourself, don't bribe others. Don't show off. No need to show off. Everything that has to be watched is being watched by the higher self. Whom do you want to show off your abilities or your skills or your knowledge or your greatness? Nobody has to watch how great you are. Nobody has to know how great you are. The higher masters, the enlightened masters don't do show off. Never do show off. Then why are we showing off? Who are we showing off to? And what are we showing off? The greatest minds are the simplest people. They don't show off. And disobedience of such a rule can be disastrous, and people try to bribe you with money, positions, and many other means. If you have a weakness, my dear friends, people will tend to use you. If you have a weakness, and if I know about the weakness, I can use you. If I have a weakness, you can use me. If I'm a corrupt person, then you know how to manipulate me, how to get things done through me. And actually, those who flatter or bribe are those who are using your brain to think through. And when you show off, the controlling powers in your mind are those for whom you are showing off. For example, I show off in front of you, and what do I get? I get praise, I get appreciation. So you are actually controlling me. Your praise and your appreciation and your flattery is controlling me. So I yearn for that. You are my controller now. I have my remote control given to you. And the difference between animals and human beings is thinking. But thinking can even make you worse than an animal. And it is clear thinking that makes you a supreme human being. And clear thinking cannot be achieved if you're running under the influence of bribery, flattery, and showing off. Animals cannot make themselves human, but human beings can make themselves as animals. So where are we headed to? Then we are coming to the final points, my dear friends. And the 12th point is that before you think, ask the light of your soul or the light of Christ or the light of God to guide you in your thinking. Meditate and ask yourself, consult your intuition, consult your heart, consult your soul. You will see that when you cultivate your clear thinking, you will be exact, true, and factual in your conversations, and you will clearly see how people voluntarily mislead themselves through unclear thinking. Let's cultivate a habit of going within first and then going out. Then check your thoughts by the light of your heart. The heart is not a center of pity, but a center which is in harmony with the cosmic heart. And if your heart says no, obey it. But do not confuse your heart with your desires, glamours, and wishes. We always tend to do what we like rather than what is right. Let's underline this sentence. We mostly do what we like and not what is right. We mostly do what is easy rather than what is being difficult, which is also right. Sometimes what the heart says is easy. Sometimes what the heart says is difficult. Sometimes what the heart says is what you like or maybe you dislike. Irrelevant of that, we need to follow our hearts. The what will be answered by your heart and the how will be answered by your mind, not the other way around, my dear friends. The what will be answered by your heart and the how will be answered by your mind. Your heart will tell you, Pari, you have to go to Bangalore. And my mind will have to clear the blueprint. How do I go now? My heart told me to go to Bangalore. Now I have to figure out, should I go by walk? Should I go by flight? Should I go by train? Should I go by bus? Which is the best way to go? That is the job of the mind. To think. And the heart will tell you what to do. The mind will tell you how to do. Then let your thoughts be in harmony with the principles of beauty, goodness, righteousness, joy, and freedom. These are very important factors, my dear friends. Stockholm Sanadian says that this is the 5-point star, wherein everything that we do should be based on these 5-point stars. Beauty, goodness, righteousness, joy, and freedom. Your emotions, your thoughts, your being, your everything should be based on these 5 factors. Only then can you become a superhuman being. And if your thoughts do not agree with these 5 principles, your thoughts are out of order and you are in danger of losing your path. Then last but not the least, we have another point to go, which is the most important point. So before you think or make decisions for a few minutes, keep total silence. Be with yourself first. Be in total silence, mental silence and verbal silence, both. Silence will help you focus your mind in the clear light. Practice Mauna, my dear friends. There is a beautiful workshop in Pyramid Valley which happens, is called Stillness. Try to go there and be with yourself. And the last one, our beloved Brahma Shri Patriji says that the ultimate solution is meditation. Learn how to meditate. Regular and continuous meditation eventually will make you a free and clear thinker. So that is today's subject of clear thinking, my dear friends. We understand now the levels or stages of mind and how we can achieve clear thinking. I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
Sorry, I think I was on mute. But it was such a wonderful session, ma'am. So we didn't even realize how the time flew, and it was really a very mesmerizing topic, right? So of course, we speak quite a lot of topics, particularly on the thoughts and the mind, more in a scientific way. But this is the clarity of mind, the clarity of thinking, and you have taken us through the various dimensions of what the thought patterns can be and what is really the different states of minds that can be, right? Right from being a destructive mind or a lazy mind or an undeveloped mind, to how the we can develop ourselves by upgrading ourselves to become conscious and to lead to an enlightened mind, and also a creative mind and unlimited mind, right? So really, this was my first experience, and of course, definitely taken inspiration from the work you and senior studies are doing on translating this all the material of Torkam ji into Telugu and many other languages. So it's a wonderful way of presenting it, and definitely it's. I would like to open up to the audience for any questions they have, and for me, it's taking a lot of takeaways for the day. So I started making notes, and it gives me a lot of material to think and contemplate on. Thank
I
you.
want to apologize for going over the time. Really sorry about that.
Not to worry. I think it's still worth the time that we spend and invest in ourselves. Yes, we I think there was one early question that was just asking what is the difference between mind and brain. I would say it's just a synonymous thing that you use between mind and brain. So here, for this purpose of this discussion, we can think everything as mind, right? So we are not talking much about the brain side of the story. Yeah, sure. Any questions, friends? Anyone wants to interact with Madam? So can just raise your hand or just prompt for uh, any questions. So there, while others rise up, so there's one question that was come on chat by Lataji. Does kids have clear mind? That's a question that's been on the chat box.
Um, they may not have clear mind, but they have a pure mind. So the clarity will come when they start experiencing things, when they start knowing about things. That is when they get clarity. They may not have a clear mind, but they definitely have a pure mind. Their mind is very innocent, very pure, very clear like water.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in fact, that's every master said that the kids are nothing but gods themselves, right? It's the purest form of the godly state that they are in. So that's answers. And I would like to now call upon Swanlata Madam for her few words and then interacting with you, Madam. Welcome, Madam Swanlata ji.
So, good morning. Thank you for the good session. Where is Parinita? I'm not able to see her. Thank
You're
you
on
for
your
the
mobile, that's why you're not able to see me.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. A full presentation. Just represented Tarkam in a full way. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice.
Thank you, Ma.
Mm.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Lata ji wants to.
Yeah.
Good morning, madam. It's a wonderful session to me. A lot of gratitude to you. And the question I have is: um, we have 12 kinds of mind, right? So, for clear, is there any order between order to achieve, like to achieve clear mind? First we have to like 1, 2, 3 order we have to go for it, or how it will be.
It depends from person to person, Ma. They're not different minds. They are different states of mind that we all go through as a state of mind. So from confusion, we slowly get into striving mind. From striving mind, we slowly get into clear thinking. So they're all stages of mind where one person goes through. But again, whether it is in order or not depends from person to person.
Okay. But it depends on the situation. Every day, mind goes different stages, right?
That is what I'm saying. So everything depends on you, not the situation. That is what is stages of mind. So situations come and go, situations happen, everything. But how is your mind is in your hand. Do you want to make a confused mind, or do you want to make your mind more clearer? Doesn't depend on the situation. It depends on yourself actually.
Yeah. That's correct. But very difficult to follow.
Yes, but it is not impossible. You can still make your mind come into an enlightened state of mind, just like Buddha.
So whoever have clear mind, can we call them as enlightened masters?
It doesn't matter what we call them. As long as there is a clear mind, that's it.
Okay.
We do
So
not have to put tags or labels onto them. We are not worried about the labels. We are worried about the states that they are.
so once we achieve clear mind, so how the life will be after that?
You have to experience it to know it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Raji. Thank you. Few takeaways from myself, Parinita ji. So, definitely it was just a feast and the journey of naming and understanding the various state of minds which we journey to every day or every moment, right? So, and then you added a lot of flavors in thinking itself, right? And getting, because every step and everything that we do or act in our life, right? It's all about clarity and also the thought process and the decision making, right? So, and there can be various challenges that we all go through, right? So at every walk or every step of our life. And then being aware of these sort of, I would say, the prejudices or the hatred or the where are we coming from? Where is our decision making coming from? What is our next step forward? So it all depending on what state of mind we are in, and then as we meditate, we get better, more clarified mind and enlightened mind, which leads us to more holistic thinking and more, accommodative and more earth friendly, human friendly, higher self friendly, soul friendly. So that's where I see as a net summary, and that's really a wonderful session today, madam. So thank you very much, and we'd like to give more time for you and more topics and coming and adding value to this IFSS and the My Time platform here. Thank you very much. So on behalf of all the participants and IFS and My Time and the PSM Global, I really thank you for your time and appreciate your presentation. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so dear participants, thank you all for joining in here today and all the masters. So this coming to an end of the this another day of this wonderful journey of 33 days. And we look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow, same time with yet another wonderful topic and master. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day or a afternoon or evening, wherever you are. Thank you very much. Namaskar.